This is Skid Row, the largest homeless camp and most dangerous neighborhood in America, with an estimated 10,000 plus homeless people living on its 25 blocks of drug-fueled and crime-ridden streets and tents.
System malfunction. System malfunction.
Los Angeles, California. This is the hub of the West Coast. You got people from all corners of the world stepping off planes every hour just to be a part of the energy that is supposed to be LA. Maybe it's the weather, the palm trees, the beautiful beaches. Either way, they're coming in large numbers. But I'll be the first to tell you that LA is ground zero for dysfunction and weirdness. That if you're coming here thinking it's gonna be all cookies and cream, you got another thing coming. So those of you who are from the city or people who have come to LA hoping to settle down and start a life, fucked around and found out and know what I'm talking about, make sure you like the video, share the video, click the notification bell so that you can be notified as I drop new content. Now, the propaganda surrounding Los Angeles, it presents itself completely different than what it really is. So if you're coming from some small town or an international country, you get a different picture of what Los Angeles is until you get here. Now, I'm not talking about those people that are coming to visit for a couple of days or a week. I'm talking about those that are permanently thinking about relocating, eventually finding themselves a job, and a community of friends that are gonna be strong and tight with them until the casket drops. It's true, we got some really nice, beautiful beaches out here. The palm trees are nice and the weather is pretty solid all year round. But you are sadly mistaken if you think life is gonna be a walk in the park trying to live in Los Angeles. So for those of you who are on a plane right now or who are making plans to get out here next year, I would say scrap those plans, stay in your small town. You got a real nice community already surrounding you, probably more wholesome people, because when you come to LA, this is what it's gonna look like. Now, keep in mind, this is for the average folks, right? I'm not talking about those that got tons of money where it doesn't matter where they go, they can make themselves comfortable. For the average individual that gets off the plane, maybe you've saved up a good stash over the last couple of years because you knew you were gonna come out this way. So you get to LA, you got a neighborhood that you wanna live in, you get yourself an apartment, and now you gotta go find yourself a job. If you don't have a professional degree or a trade or something like that, most people will find the job in a service industry. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to find 1, 2, maybe even 3 roommates to fit the bill for you to be able to live in a decent area. There are some really nice pockets in Los Angeles where you can live, but those areas are asking for a big chunk of change for you to rent out a room in someone's home or to roommate with 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And if you've ever lived with roommates, you know how those situations usually pan out. Just doesn't go very well. So either way, find yourself a place to live. You get yourself a small car so that you can get around the city. I mean, LA does have a pretty decent ecosystem when it comes to the transportation. You can get to one end of the city fairly easy with different transfers of different buses. They even have a train system. But if you're a clean person, you're not gonna be really happy with the hygienic conditions on these trains or these buses. And then oftentimes you come across people who are working with half a deck. They're just not all there. This could put you in a very dangerous situation. So you decide to get yourself a car. Now, in order to park that car in the community where you're renting, it's not gonna be free. Sometimes you can find parking, but that would be 4, 5, 8 blocks away sometimes. And you got to walk all the way back to the place where you're paying rent. So they offer these annual passes that you can purchase that allows you to park in that community. But what if you have a job that you don't get off work until 9, 10 o'clock at night? By the time you get to your community and start trying to look for parking, you'll be circling the block for an hour just to find a spot where you can park where you live. And you better believe that if you don't have that valid parking pass hanging from your window, you will receive a ticket that's going to cost you anywhere from $70 to $80. And you best believe that there are tow truck companies that are on standby waiting to haul your car off. And then that's going to cost you, and that's only for the initial tow. God forbid your car has to sit on a tow yard for couple days, man, you're looking at upwards of $1,000, and this happens regularly.
It did tow her car to a shop 20 miles away. The cost for the tow, nearly $1,000.
It's been emotionally distressful. I feel helpless.
It still felt like my car was stolen, and now it was being held hostage.
And you can't forget about the traffic in Los Angeles. I mean, it is a city, but you really don't get a full understanding of how crazy the traffic is until you live in Los Angeles. And I've always been under the understanding that if you hear the sound of a car honking, that is pretty much a sign of imminent danger coming from somewhere, and they're trying to warn you of that danger. But in Los Angeles, honking is just part of the ecosystem. You can be sitting at a stoplight with 50 cars in front of you, so you can't go anywhere. But if the light turns green way up front of those 50 cars, 3 or 4 cars behind you is going to start honking. And some people will even lay into their horn telling you to move. There's really some place for you to go. So if you plan to have a heart attack in traffic, then LA is the place for you. Come right on in. Those who know understand that LA is a city that is set up to extract from the people. Every move you make in Los Angeles is taxed. You want to go to a concert or to a museum, you got to park that car. If you decide not to take your car and you want to take an Uber or something like that, you're going to have to pay there. We all know what the gas prices are like in Los Angeles or California, period. It is unreal, but it doesn't get any better. You may find one day you'll get up in the morning to go to work or to jump in your car to go get yourself a cup of coffee, and there may be a homeless person sleeping in your car. And if they're not sleeping in your car, at the least, you're going to find a window that's been busted out, because the vandalism in Los Angeles is real, and it's a common occurrence.
Vehicle break-ins are something that never seems to disappear. It's something that happens year-round. There's actually 2 different types. You have theft from motor vehicle, and then you have burglary from motor vehicle. Theft from motor vehicle would be, to give you an example, would be if you had a pickup truck, you had a toolbox that's sitting in the back, someone can just easily come along and pick up that toolbox and leave. That's technically not a burglary from motor vehicle, it's a theft from motor vehicle. So what I like to tell people is lock it, hide it, keep it. Lock it meaning lock the doors to your car, and if you have to have something valuable in the car, which I would recommend taking out, if you lock the doors and hide the valuable, you have a high chance of being able to keep that item, because people that are breaking into cars are looking in the windows for something that's valuable. Best thing to do is keep valuables out of your car. Even the change, when you go through a drive-through and you set that change in the center, if they can see it from outside, they will break into your car to get it. A gym bag with your gym clothes in it looks like a suitcase with valuables. Take your gym clothes out of your car.
Another massive element of dysfunction in Los Angeles is the huge homeless population. There are tens of thousands of homeless people all in and around the city. There are these large encampments all over the city, not just centered in downtown Los Angeles, where there's this area called Skid Row, which is where they're heavily concentrated, but you can find homeless tents or people living in bushes, people sleeping behind buildings. You can walk into a place of business and there might be a homeless tent right there in front of you. And naturally, these folks don't have any money, right? They're just trying to get by. But this is what you are forced to look at every single day that you are moving in and around the city. You ever seen someone urinate or defecate at 12 noon with cars driving by and buses passing by and people walking through the city? Just take a piss or defecate right there next to the telephone pole. I have seen this countless times. You know, they say community is everything, right? You got to find yourself a tribe where you can feel comfortable, people you can trust. And I'm here to tell you that trying to find solid friends in the city of Los Angeles, that's a long shot. Most people who are living in LA or coming to LA, they're all looking to get ahead. They're all trying to find a leg up. And the way that they do that is by looking at you as a stepping stone. So initial conversations is people trying to size you up. What do you do? Where are you from? They're just trying to get a gauge on what you have that they can utilize to uplift themselves. And it seems like the vast majority of the people that are coming to Los Angeles, not the natives. The natives, they're a completely different population. They're more chill and just a more wholesome people. They're not with all the hype and the rah-rah. They're just trying to make it through life. But the folks that are coming here from different parts of the country or different parts of the world, I find that a lot of these folks are aspiring actors or aspiring musicians, and they're all struggling. I mean, there's a small number that actually make it, but there's only a small number of actors or musicians that really, make it. Most of them are all coming here trying to find their breakout moment. So if you can't help them or provide that spark for them to be able to get ahead, then they're probably going to discard you or compartmentalize you as just another mouthpiece. And if you want to be a part of the crime statistics, then LA is the place for you because the numbers are astronomical. They are off the charts. The chances of you getting robbed or mugged or having your car vandalized is extremely high. And I can spend hours talking about those numbers, but all in all, I just touched on a couple of points of the dysfunction that is Los Angeles. And a lot of people don't tell you that. They're not going to put the truth in the advertising. They're going to wait till you get here, and then you're going to find out on your own that you probably should have stayed where you were and made the decision to just visit the city and not try and make it a place to live. Because I've heard countless stories of, a lot of these models or these musicians will come here, these actors will come here, and they come in contact with these big producers, these big names. And these producers really don't have the desire to help these people out unless they really truly see potential. But the vast majority of these people who come here end up getting used and abused. They get sold these pipe dreams of success and what their lives are going to look like in 5 to 10 years from now. But none of that is true. In the end, a lot of these people end up becoming homeless, or they find themselves struggling, calling back home for support, or end up just going back home. And that's what a lot of these people do. So the moral of the story is that Los Angeles isn't what it seems. Los Angeles is a download malfunction.
My name is Jeremy Johnson.
Jeremy Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you were just lighting up something. What was that?
I just lighten up. Today is a beautiful day.
Jeremy.
People's out here is in sheep clothes just like they night. Blah, blah, blah. They is not nice.
Who are those? Who are those people? Who?
Them is the demons.
Is that us?
Like her.
She's
She got a sheep. She a sheep. She a human.
How long you been homeless out here, brother?
That's the demons. The blacks. Look at him. Look at him, y'all. All they do is cuss. Look at him. He's a demon. Boy, I don't know where you from, but you look like a Huckleberry Finn. Don't let them trick you with the cover.
Okay, Jeremy Johnson. I saw you lighting something up.
You not no good guy.
No.
He's the one.
I'm a demon.
It's fentanyl out here, people. Fentanyl and it's taking them down to the ground, and they would never come back.
Tell me about fentanyl. Why am I a demon also?
No,
you got no demon.
He's a
demon.
Yeah, all right.
Tell me what it's like to be homeless out here. Is it relatively safe or not safe for people?
It's not safe, folks. Don't come down here and get that meal ready to run now. It's scary. You don't hurt.
System malfunction.